It's a beautiful September 21st, last full day of summer, as you can see. And a lot of people say I should do a stand-up. Normally I detest doing stand-ups because I don't like having my picture taken, and I don't like taking pictures of other people. It's just degrading. But I was actually planning on railfanning Metro North today, and I lost sleep last night. I was so excited about the prospect of seeing endless General Electric Jennies and MUs of all kinds. And I don't know, something came over me where I just got this abhorrent, audacious, prohibitive urge to want to come to Jersey and railfan Amtrak and New Jersey Transit. Why on earth I'd want to come and see heritage units on Amtrak and New Jersey Transit and 40-plus-year-old General Motors diesels is beyond me. I'm going to have to consult with my therapist to explain strange behavior. But why fight it? I'll make the best of it and hope that I get over this mental deficiency that I'm having today. See what we can get. Hockey season is about to start. Go Leafs, go. Now it's a beautiful September 21st, 2022, last full day of summer. We're at Secaucus, and here comes Amtrak 2160, Washington to Boston, blasting through. Oh, here's cab car 6072 leading. I think this might be the one that has the K5 LLA horn. But I don't think I'm going to get to hear it, unfortunately. Trenton-bound train there, ALP 46A. No, that's not the K5 LLA. I forget what the car number is on that. See, it's a gorgeous day today. About upper 70s, low humidity as we look at the Jersey City and the New York skyline in the background. Here goes train 3243 to Long Branch at 12:55. About to pass at 12:58 is Amtrak 171 from Boston all the way to Roanoke, Virginia. There are workers up ahead he should be blowing his horn for. Love those raised letter K5 LAs. Well, here's 6627 for Dover on the old Lackawanna at 103. Sounding is K5LA for the workers. 4628 is AOP 46, one of the original ones. Approaching is Amtrak 609, New York Harrisburg at 106. That's a train arriving from High Bridge with the Space Force unit on the rear. ALP 45DP. This interlocking here is called LACK, L-A-C-K. Short for Lackawanna. Why? This is a former Penzi track. And 109, that's train 5575 bound for High Bridge on the Raritan Valley line with the usual ALP 45DP. Yeah, this is 2169 from Boston to Washington, a Cell Express, stuck behind some slow traffic. Comes a New York-bound Arrow MU. Those old war horses still run in quantity. Love that AA2 horn by Westinghouse. Cell Express you saw was actually 2159. And you got to hear that neat sounding hybrid K5LA horn. We've gone to the other end of the station, which is a bit shadier. It is kind of warm today. 78 degrees. Relatively speaking, for September 21st, that's very warm. But here we see this limited clear signal at the New York end of the station for a Dover, New York train. Limited clear means to proceed through the interlocking not exceeding a speed of 45 miles an hour. Interestingly, the interlocking at the New York end of the station is called Erie, and west it's Lack. I think they're paying tribute to the railroad they're going over. And 128, here's 6640 departing for New York. It came from Dover on the Morrison Essex. ALP 4618 shoving. Well, here comes a train arriving from Trenton at 132. He's got a stop signal here at Erie. He has to wait for Amtrak 174 to pass and route from Newport News, Virginia to Boston. .74 should be getting the signal. Limited clear. to New York. You'll be in the Hudson River tunnels in a couple of minutes. I mean, just for New Jersey Transit, this place is very busy, let alone Amtrak. One of the things I want to try to record is the automated announcement for the trains that go to or from Montclair State University. The computerized voice seems to choke to death when he pronounces the word Montclair. I believe the track layout here is 2, B, A, and 1. Right alongside track B, you can very easily access this signal. 5245 from Montclair State University is due. See if you can hear the announcement of the stops on that train. He has a little bit of trouble with Montclair State University.
Passengers now arriving on track B is the New Jersey Transit 138 outbound train to Montclair State, making stops at Newark, Broad, Wansesking Avenue, Bloomfield, Glen Ridge, Bay Street, Walnut Street, Watchung Avenue, Upper Montclair, Mountain Avenue, Montclair, Heights, and the next U. Please stand back from the yellow line and please watch the gap while boarding the train.
Stop chewing that tobacco. Here it is, 6245, bound for Montclair State University. Give me the human touch. Junction. 3247. Per the announcement, his next stop after here will be Newark Payan. Well, departing off of A is train 3844 from Trenton to New York. ALP 46A, 4641, one of the military veterans units. Always hoping to see maybe the Pennsylvania or the Erie Lackawanna or the Pride or the Armed Forces Blue Unit. Oh, here comes train 3247 for Long Branch at 158. Sound his horn before hitting the platform. Comet 4s and 5s, powered by the Space Force unit. Now this is 3247 to Long Branch. Previous train was bound for Raritan, which explains the ALP 45 DP. Seeing a lot of the military units. That's the Marine Corps unit. As this Dover-bound train pulls in on B, we have the Nacelle Express coming on track 2. Going to be running around them. It's going to be blocked out though. Acela 2121 from New York to Washington. I don't know what these things are, but they're all over the place here. Well, at 2:14 approaching is Amtrak 93 en route from Boston to Norfolk, Virginia. Got a long way to go yet. Rushing through on track 2. We have a Trenton train arriving on B at 2:18. Train 3849 with a DP shoving. And a New York bound train departing as well. Train 6644 out of Dover. Approaching at 2:20 is Amtrak 647, Keystone. En route from New York to Harrisburg. Cab car first. So far, no Amtrak Heritage units, but I have seen a number of transit military units. 2:30 approaching New York bound is Amtrak 84 out of Norfolk, Virginia to New York. Another one of those Virginia trains, and more are on the way. There are already 2 trains between New York and Roanoke every day. Failed to sound his horn approaching the platform. Here comes 2164 Acela Express at 2:40, Washington to Boston. Let's see if he blows his horn for the platform, as he should. Attaboy, and then some. Well, now we move down to the lower level, non-electrified part. Gonna hang out for a little bit, get a few trains, and catch a train to Rutherford at 3:32, train 1161. Well, approaching at 2:54 is train 49 en route from Hoboken to Middletown. It's got a Metro North F40 PH-3C on the point. this train is a favorite among some northern New Jersey rail fans at 4909. Got a great horn. There he goes. And he runs via the main line. Here comes train 1621 for Spring Valley. First stop River Edge after here with one of the newer DPs. I'm not crazy about the appearance of those ALP 45 DPs. Some engineers think they're garbage, but they've got very loud K5LA horns. Well, we just got off train 1161 in Rutherford, New Jersey. A specially painted New Jersey Transit Jeep V40 PH-2B 4213 heads off in the distance. Gonna spend the evening rush hour here and then some. And this is beautiful downtown Rutherford, New Jersey. It's got a beautiful station to match. And here's the classic looking Erie Railroad Depot that was built here in 1897. It's on both the New Jersey Register of Historic Places and the National Register of Historic Places, and rightfully so. The station with its columns sort of resembles the Harvey House Depot in Needles, California on the old Santa Fe. At 3:58, here comes 1174 from Suffern to Hoboken. I'll never get used to the sound of those things. Well, why did I choose to rail fan in Rutherford, New Jersey? Well, there's a big reason right there. Blarney's Station Pub. Terrific Irish pub. I've eaten in here once before. Great food and spirits. Makes this Irishman very happy. This is the old Erie Bergen County line. Today, trains between Secaucus and Suffern, the majority of the trains use the Bergen County line. and a lesser number use the main line to the west. The Port Jervis trains, at least most of them, pass through here at speed, supposedly. Only trains 59 and 61 don't go through here. They take the main line to get to Port Jervis. Seeing Port Jervis trains nowadays, this is the best time of day to be able to see them, because in off hours and on weekends, the line is closed north of Suffern due to track work. So there won't be any Port Jervis trains running during the bulk of the fall. Okay, approaching at 4:25 is the first of the Port Jervis rush hour trains. Number 51, Hoboken to Port Jervis. First of several Port Jervis expresses. The only ones that don't go through here that take the main are 57 and 59. Well, 4:37, here comes train 1263, Hoboken to Waldwick. And he's got a Jeep on the point. Hallelujah. To think I passed up Metro North to see these engines. What's the matter with me? Metro North painted locomotive. These are the best locomotives that Metro North has. Hey, who knows? My therapist might just come right out and say there's nothing wrong with me after all. Hey, approaching at 4:51. Ooh, went a little too far there, fella. Get that gate off of your hood. Attaboy, back up. This train's 66 from Middletown to Hoboken. It's also referred to as the R train. As I was saying, as the train pulled in, this train is also referred to as the R train. That's because between Suffern and Secaucus, this train only stops at stations that begin with the letter R, like Ramsey, Ridgewood, Radburn, and this Rutherford. Shoving was 4909, a favorite rail fan's F40 PH-3C. And I saw him go out on 49. I think he was only going as far as Suffern because of the Port Jervis track work. So he's returning from Suffern. Okay, next up at 5:06 is train 53 from Hoboken to Port Jervis. The signal to the north of here, or west of here, is displaying an advanced approach. That signal bridge down there is displaying an advanced approach. That's the most favorable signal indication you get. Used to get a clear and the trains would barrel through here at track speed. Now they're slowing down past here. Okay, next train at 5:13 is 1165 from Hoboken to Suffern. He makes his first stop at Radburn after leaving Secaucus. Looks like he's got another F40 PH-3C. I've seen a lot of those F40-3Cs tonight. Yeah, they may not be breaking any speed records, but they're making a lot of loud noise with those unrestricted K5LAs. Here comes 1178 from Suffern to Hoboken at 5:14. Shoved by a PL42 by Alstom. Ka-thump, 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 ka-thump. Should have 1357 arriving shortly en route from Hoboken to Ridgewood. One of those EMD prime movers, and you can hear airplanes passing that have just taken off from Teterboro Airport. That was 1357 for Ridgewood at 5:20. He stops here. He's got a PL42. In the background, on occasion, you can sometimes hear horns of New Jersey Transit trains going up and down the Pascack Valley line, a little ways to the east. Nice long horn blast at the crossing. Those things are loud. Unlike the Long Island Railroad, the New Jersey Transit likes to have their horns unrestricted. Looks like a cargo plane. So next up at 5:33 is train 55 from Hoboken to Port Jervis. Should have 1167 behind him a few minutes later. They're definitely putting on the brakes through here. They used to have a clear signal and fly through here, but lately they've had this advanced approach signal to the west. It's driving engineers crazy. Right away at 5:35, heading to Hoboken, we have equipment. Must be because there's no scheduled train that's due to stop here. All right, 5:40, here comes 1167. Hoboken suffering. His first stop is Radburn after Secaucus. Looks like he's got a PL.
Hey, Jamal, don't cross that track. You said that was your train? No, I didn't.
No, those things don't fly through here like they do at Porterville and Ramsey. Look at that. East Rutherford, Bergen County, home of the New York Giants and the New York Jets. And they play in New Jersey, of all things. And they call themselves the New York Giants or the New York Jets. The only New York football team that matters are the Buffalo Bills. Oh, here comes 1269, Hoboken to Waldwick at 5:48. F40PH-3Cs are wild tonight, it seems. The best show in railroading in the New York area, by far. Well, it's 6:58. This would have been French Onion Soup's train, but he's off tonight. He usually runs garbage, but look what he missed tonight. This GP40PH-2B. You missed out. The train we saw depart that was supposed to be French Onion Soup's train, but he's off, was 1173. Hoboken Suffering. You can hear a lot of traffic coming out of Teterboro above me. Well, we got on 1276 at Rutherford, left at 716. Here I am at Rutherford, watching it head off to Hoboken. Sounds like he's got something good on the back. Gotta love it. Well, we'll catch 1175 departing for Suffern with a nice Jeep. Looks like 4206. We can talk about Metra's fleet of F40s, Winnebagos, F59s, but they don't have engines like this. We got a Hoboken bound train coming in too. We missed 63 to Port Jervis as I was leaving Rutherford, but I'll stick around and get 65, stopping here. Kind of a deadhead move. Whenever you see double deckers on the diesel trains, you know they have garbage on the back. It's a Spring Valley bound train. Pascack Valley Line train for Spring Valley. Well, we'll stick around the lower level of Secaucus before heading back to Manhattan. 2 more trains. Here comes 1127, Hoboken to Suffern via the main line. Looks like he's got quite a few customers tonight. And in a few minutes, 65 should be coming in. He's due out at 8:08. Non-stop to Suffern and all stops to Port Jervis. The last Port Jervis rush hour express of the evening. Well, 8:06, here comes train 65 for Port Jervis. What a racket, my God. Off he goes to Port Jervis, where he should get there a little after 10. Well, it's all I could do to fight back the tears for not rail fanning Metro North today. But at times, one has to make the ultimate sacrifice. That's what builds character, and character is what makes America great. Remember that.